you spend a lot of time with yourself, obviously, like on the road, as much as you're with people. And like you definitely learn a lot of things about who you actually are and what you actually like very quickly. Like it only takes about a month to realize like, shit, I don't want to go to a club every night. Like, oh, like, you know, or like, shit, I don't like music. Like this isn't for me. It takes probably 1 or 2 tours and it cracks me. I've seen people crack right then and there and take flights home.
You know, there's like a lot of bands competing to be like on the top spot. And like, I think that by touring so much, like you could definitely like deteriorate a band. And like, for example, I can't give you an example of a band, but I'm just saying like over touring definitely like puts stress on you and definitely like, you know, makes you resent your band members, you know what I mean? Because you see them all the time. And it's like, we hang out all the time, but like it's different when you're touring and then when you're back home because you're just more relaxed. You're not really like working, you know?
But it's like stability. It's like having my parents. It's like, oh, get a job, do this, do that. It's like you're playing music, but will it last forever? And it's like, I guess after a while it does get to you. It's like you're getting older. It's like, what if the band like broke up tomorrow? What am I gonna do? It's like, you know what I mean? You start from like the bottom again. So it's like just thinking about all that stuff, and it's just like, kind of gets to you, right? It's like, but yeah, it's like, but giving up on like a dream opportunity that we're lucky to have.
Our time off initially started with like clearing our heads, like enjoying home life. Like we're on the road all the time. Like I can't even remember 2010. I was like every day. I think I saw America so many times that I almost, every time I think about that year, I get a little wacky. But if you're on the, let's say you're on the road for 5 weeks. I think that's a pretty average tour. For 5 weeks, you go through so many emotions in that 5 weeks. And then when you finally get home, you realize like, fuck, you know, like I haven't seen so many of my really good friends I grew up with for so long. And it's like, that's like something that I had to reconnect with, like the depersonalization of putting yourself on the road.
I guess it made me like, actually appreciate being at home, to be honest. It's like having like relaxed time, like, oh, we have to go on tour, it's like this and that. And not that tour isn't fun, it is fun, really fun, but I don't know, like people will call me and be like, hey dude, let's go to like a bar or something. And be like, no, I'm just gonna stay home, like chill with my mom, chill with my sister. And then, yeah, just appreciate being home now. Kind of getting sick of it. Kind of want to go on tour, but yeah.
In a certain aspect, it was like healthy for our minds and for us as musicians and artists and stuff, just to like kind of get away from that life for like a little bit, you know what I mean? To like clear your head a little bit, reevaluate where you want to go, the direction of sound and all that kind of like good stuff that artists created from. And so having those 5 months off really benefited us. And like the past couple weeks since we started recording in May, it's just, everything's been flowing very naturally, and like, it feels like the first time we've ever written music together. You know what I mean? Like back in 2006 when we first started the band, we all come to the table, me, Ange, and Seb, and even Anthony, and we just brainstorm ideas and put them on paper, and it just flows very nicely. There's no like butting heads, and just, I don't know, it's been very refreshing, to say the least, yeah.
We got our heads wrapped around being home and whatever, and then we started writing at my place. And we got like very far with the pre-production here. I think before we even started in the studio, we had 5 tracks because Anthony was actually in California producing stuff for other artists. So he's like, I'm gonna be gone, like this will be good for you. Like, well, I'm gone, whatever. So we like stayed here and like, we're like, oh, okay, let's start writing the abandoned songs here. We didn't really have another choice.
Someone like Angelo that's like, likes to get hands-on and likes, he asks a lot of questions and he gets really involved. Picked up the program that I use mostly, which is Ableton, and he kind of went from there. And I went out of the country for about a month, and then by the time I got back, the record was like 3/4 done. You know, it was being written, and I had no idea. Like, I got a phone call, and he's like, oh, I did this song. He sends it to me, and I listen to it, and I'm like, this is amazing. Sweet, let's record a record, you know?
Every time we work together on a project, anything, like whether it be like the demos or the EP or the Giving record, Infamous, this record, he's so big of a part of the process. Like it's almost, he is the other member of the band, truly. Like it's just hard for me to envision myself not working with Anthony on like most musical projects that I would do. Like it just doesn't seem right.
I've known the guys for 6 or 7 years, I'd say. And the band has evolved more in this record than they have within the last 2 records, which I love, but at the same time, we're a thing of the past.
Well, for me right now, it's like where my head is like I've been listening to a lot of EDM. We're gonna bring that into like the new record, right? And it's very excited. It's like Ange and Martin, like 2 of my best friends. The crew, good friends.
On this 3rd record, hopefully we could bring some of that old flavor back and like a little bit of Infamous, and like we have like this modern like twist happening within the 3rd record that kind of sounds like a little bit of old AS, a little bit of new AS. It's like, it's cool. It's sounding really, really awesome so far, which I'm really, really stoked about.